Heyo, Dr. Shoots here. I have what I named the Aithôn Kyros. A little different than what I'm normally build. Something that I guess kind of randomly came up with. I don't think it looks too bad, so I went ahead and kept it and went with it. As I was adding more detail in, I did come to an end on parts, so it is a max build, but I was able to fit everything that was needed and looks filling in gaps and aesthetic, you know. So the name Aithôn means burning, and Kyros means, it can mean Lord or Master, and it kind of there was a name I was thinking about doing Cyrus, and that means last time I looked it meant sun, but it derived from the name Kyros. All this is Greek names. Anyways, all I'm going to do for this video is kind of just show you through this build and get a few shots. And if anyone's interested in me doing a build tutorial, just shoot me a comment down below and I'll make a video for building this thing. So as you can see, I wanted to try and do a higher build. Lately, my ships that I've been creating are kind of low to the ground. And when I land, and how it just places you outside the ship when you land somewhere on another planet or even at your own home outpost. It seems to keep placing me somewhere underneath the ship and I'm stuck there, and I have to go to my map and basically fast travel to the same location just to be able to fix the issue so I can walk around. The bottom looked kind of flat and empty, barren, and I didn't know if I should leave it that way, and I ended up using these Deimos, like bottom have spines, I guess you can call it. I don't know the actual name for them. It doesn't need this many landing gear. I did need to put at least, I think, 5 of these NGs with the other 2 legs. So you could probably do away with having these legs if you want to, and having all 6 of these, and it'll be fine. But if you go in and look at when you're in the shipbuilder, these legs, I believe, weigh less or add more hull. I can't remember, one of the 2. There's a benefit to just going ahead and placing these legs instead of the actual those stroud sections that are like up here, right there. This stroud section I'm looking at, you can when you flip them into the orientation on the bottom, you could have used these to put there, but I went ahead and kept the legs because of the extra benefit of the legs. And I think they weigh less. I can't remember though. Alright, I'm rambling. So, I wanted to go for a look of raising the main part of the ship. And then I had the hab kind of teed off. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And I kind of... I started off with these stroud caps, these stroud pieces right here. And I had 4 of them. But it started to look... I don't know, I wanted something to kind of break it up a little bit instead of having the same thing repeated. I ended up using these. I'm trying to not think it looks like a crab claw. That bothers me. I don't like the idea of making the my shit look like a crab. So I try to envision it as I don't know, something mechanical that's needed for being open and separated like this. And or maybe it's separated because that's a whole unit and this can be replaced or repaired and you can get easily access to components that needs to be fixed or repaired. I don't know why I'm gonna run on the outside of the ship. Let's go to this. Oops, needs to be repaired. I think the game's glitching. I've already repaired the ship. Or maybe I just messed up on back saving or something. Doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. So it's a little thick, she's a little wide. But as a whole, I think it works. There's a thing I like to do with these Stroud caps. I like to have them kind of give a shape or design of like this kind of separation, but with pointy in the back, and then in between them I put engines. I've just never done it before with large C-class engines. So this is the first time I've kind of messed with this, and because of what I've done with dropping the sides down and widening it, making the back this thick doesn't look too disproportionate. It looks okay. I wanted to add a window to that back hab. That's the captain's quarters. I always like to add the captain's quarters at the top. Like it's something important, special. I'm the captain. I want my room at the top, basically. And I wanted a window back there, but like I said, I maxed out placing items. I experimented a little bit with these right here, these little Nova thrusters. Yes, I know on the front end of it doesn't look that great with the supports kind of running through the thruster. But from a distance, I like the shape of the outside, giving that kind of brassy, goldish metal, and it just kind of adds that extra little design to the shape before the engine, like it's seen something that's a part of it, part of the engine, something important. And then you have the shape of the curvy teardrop kind of diving into it with the supports. I don't know, from a distance I thought it works. It was fine. I'll leave it, keep that. Just trying new little things out. And I've been underneath each side of the Nova bridge, the cab, I've been trying out using these I can't remember what they're called. They're made by Teo, and they kind of look like little vents on the front. They're not little, but they have vents, but most of it's covered up, and I'm kind of using it to give some shape, some bubble, some roundness on the side, and then I use those Teo caps on the side running down to finish it off. And I kind of like how it fills in, it covers up any kind of divots and gaps, and it all kind of flows, looks smooth. I wanted to also add right in front of those Teo vent looking parts. That flat part that you can add something to the side of that shroud section right there in front of the cab. How can I? Oh, that doesn't. Okay. I wanted to add something there too. I don't like it just being flat right there. But I felt like that was least important compared to everything else I've done to the ship. I normally haven't been actually displaying all 6 engines on this build. I did. It's kind of the what I was going for with the little side. They're not really wings, but sections of the ship, kind of wings off the side. I wanted them wide enough to where I can add all 6 engines. And usually I just duplicate the engines and put them inside of each other and only have like 4 or 2 of them showing. And so I just wanted to try and do that. Now, the top was kind of flat and barren, and there is some gaps right there. As you can see, there's the Hope Tech tunnel. I did that so that my captain's quarters doesn't have a ladder running down. But I kind of wanted to add something up there and I wasn't sure what to do. And I went ahead and used those Deimos spines. But putting it thin up front and then going across looked kind of boring. And then making it bigger towards the back just looked weird. And then I kind of just slap that together. As you can see, I zoomed out and it kind of goes with the flow of the ship. Kind of goes with the flow of the ship and gives a little bit of character. Now, something I tend to keep doing, I like running with the Vanguard obliterators. And I love putting them in that group together to where they're kind of like in a circle or octagon shape, whatever you want to call it. And I love having those up front, somewhere centered. And I usually try and place them where you'll see them as you walk into the ship. But this build calls for something different. I got the bay on the bottom and the back. So I still did that little design and I kept it up front. And you can have up to 6 of them. I usually run 6 of those, and then what's the name of the other 2 guns? I run 2 auto Helion beam. I run 2 of those and 1 suppressor. And that's just what I like to do. So these 2 have a very far distance for reaching out and hitting somebody. And they do a pretty good amount of damage. Yeah, they're autos, so you have multiple shots. You don't have to wait. I use the suppressor all for like stilling and docking ships. This is just my normal gun little setup I do. We can back out of this and take a look at what the interior looks like. On the bottom here, use that Nova little I guess cap, I'm not sure what to call it, to kind of fill in the gap, and in between the gaps in between it and these shroud caps. These are oh Lord, I don't remember the name. It's cargo, but it's shielded cargo. I think they're called 200 something. I went ahead and used six of them. So when I just like not having to worry about flying to a planet with contraband, and the percentage is really high with all 6 of these, and of course the extra stuff, like not this, but I can't, the multi-frequent something. Anywho, as y'all can tell, I'm a professional at this YouTube stuff.
Time to move on.
I have something for you.
Alright. Sadly, this is the first time I am in the ship. I don't know why I didn't think about coming in here beforehand. Okay, so when you walk into the ship, you're in the back of the ship. This is facing forward. You start off in the control station. I figured having an entrance into a control station won't look too bad. Now off to, I believe this way is the infirmary, and it is. Okay, so we have the infirmary off on the left of the ship, and on the right side of the ship we have the armory. Excuse me. I used to use the Nova Armory a lot because of the 2 mannequins. It just looked nice. I ended up not using the Armory much at all because of all the glitches and whatnot, and of course the mannequins just don't work. Not yet. But the Stroud and the Deimos armories, they look nice. I like the extra storage for guns. There's a whole lot more than the Nova. That's it. No reason why. And then if you come forward further into the ship, I wanted to add a little bit more length, so I added this little 1x1. And then this is the Stroud workshop. Now, the difference between the Stroud workshop and the Deimos workshop, I think the Deimos does. I'm not 100% sure. It has a research lab in it. So if you wanted to have a workshop and you didn't have enough space for whatever build you're doing, that you can't have like an infirmary or a science lab, you can use this workshop, and it'll come with a research lab. And then of course the docker is up in the front of the ship, and we'll make our way to the rear. Let's go ahead and use the ladder. First stop, take you to the stairway to the bridge, and off to your left and your right you have a living quarters, the Nova living quarters, and another control station.
It's good to be out and about.
I
Lodge gets
went ahead and
stuffy
opted
sometimes.
for another control station.
Oh, pardon me.
I
Was that your
like
stomach
to
or mine?
invest in the perks for having more crew members. Right now I can only have 4, but hopefully in the future that'll change. Now, I did glitch into the bottom sides of the Nova Bridge. Now, for me, I run through here so quickly, honestly, this is very minor from what I've seen other people, the way they build, and they have things clipping in. You literally have to walk into it just to be able to see where you're going, because when you walk into the item that's clipping, everything, it turns invisible basically. But this isn't bad. I can live with this. It won't bother me. Alright, and this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like from the front. You know, from the captain's chair. Now, for any of y'all that are clipping, sometimes I've seen to where people clip for very good reasons, for exterior design only. They're not worried about the inside, and they're trying to achieve a look. And sometimes they nail the look, but the only way they could nail the look was because they did some weird fancy glitching. Is that gonna open? Okay. Alright. And then, of course, here's the captain. And I prefer the Nova captain's quarters over most of all the other ones. The other ones just kind of look like fancy offices and stuff like that. This one looks more homey to me. It just feels comfortable. And sometimes you get hot and you need a fan. And this one spins faster than all the other fans that I usually see in these Nova halves. I really wanted a window back here. It probably would have took away that couch though. And probably the table. So maybe it's good that I didn't do it. Alright. Let's go ahead and take off. Get a few space views.
Pressure holding. Takeoff looks good.
Oh, I didn't tell you. So the reason why I choose that gun configuration and I don't put more guns on is because it all adds up to where I can use all of my reactor points on all of my guns and the engine. So I've got my shield full, my engine full, EM full, and both of my guns completely full. The only thing I don't have full is the GAV drive. You don't ever really need to fill that section in until it's needed. You can always just pull one down and then put one in and then poop. There you go. You travel. Alright. What are the guns? This is what they look like. Where's the sun at? Find the sun for light. Oh, there's light. It's a little chunky, but it don't look too bad. Looks a little sporty, smooth. Has decent curves, and I really enjoy. If you notice on a lot of my builds, I probably use this cab way too much. But the cab, you can make it just nestle in there, and it doesn't look like there's a cab put onto the ship. It looks like it's part of the ship as a whole. It looks more realistic towards what we would, like what we would create in, in kind of real life. Most of our cockpits you're setting into the ship. But, of course, these are massive vessels, and they're normally, the cockpit would be at the very front, and everything would be behind it. I get that. I don't know, I just like this look. It looks good to me. I hope I'm not rambling too much. Let's go ahead and flip her around and get a bottom view. I kind of focused on the bottom a little bit. I mean, there was only so much I could do because I couldn't go below the legs, of course. But as a whole, it's okay. I can't, every time I see it from the up above view, it just looks really wide to me. I'm used to having a lot thinner ships. What's the top speed of this thing? Not on boost, of course. It is about, what was it? It's 300 and something. The top speed without boost is about 201, 202. Okay, it's not too bad. Like I would, when I'm dog fighting, I do keep it somewhere in the middle, and it isn't very nimble. I think the mobility on this one, since I have like over 10,000 cargo on this, of course with perks. No, wait a minute. I had 10,000 cargo without perks. Because the actual cargo went up to 17,914. So that's a good chunk. I could decrease on cargo and the mobility would jump up significantly. I could probably remove one of the large ones on bottom underneath the NG legs. There's 4, and 2 I think are duplicated within each other, so there's a total of 6 of those cargo, the really squared ones. I do appreciate y'all watching my videos, and appreciate y'all watching this video all the way until the end. Hopefully I inspire someone out there. Hopefully y'all enjoy my videos. And I'll continue making them as long as I'm interested in this game. And I kind of have a niche for video games where you create things. Like just thinking back years ago, playing all those racing games, my main goal was to beat the game just so I can get the parts for your car, and then I would constantly go back in there and build a new car. So this game's kind of the same thing. I really did enjoy Starfield, the game, and I still do. I'll get back on it and I'll play a little bit. But I spend a lot more hours in the shipbuilder. And I'm probably speaking for a lot of us out there. But again, thank you for watching my videos, and hope y'all have a good one. Bye.